Okay, welcome everybody. I'm so excited to have Oliver from CI Destinations back with us today. We do the chamber offers travel programs and Oliver works with all chambers across the country. So we hook up with other chambers. So there's not a minimum or a maximum. And I'm very excited about this trip because this is the first one I'm actually going to go on as well. We've had other members and families and friends go on where did we go? We went to,
You've done Amalfi, going to Ireland this week,
yeah,
the French Riviera, and now off to Portugal
and Croatia. We did Croatia
and
too.
Croatia.
Yeah, yeah. So rave reviews of all the people who've gone. And Oliver, I'll turn it over to you so you could introduce your company and what you're all about.
All
And
right, Margie. Thanks for coming out today, folks. Margie, thank you for putting this together. I am thrilled and honored to be here. I love working with Margie. We work with about 150 chambers or so across the country with their travel programs. And just thrilled to be able to tell everyone we enjoy a 98% repeat business ratio. And the secret to that, it's all in the details, folks, making sure our travelers just have unbelievable experiences and blow your expectations out of the water. And some things that really make that happen, they're in all of our trips. But one thing I'll chat about real quick is all our programs are fully tour managed. Now, this is a very special treat because that means you have the same person that's going to meet you right at the arrivals hall in Lisbon, and she's going to be with you every day of the trip. She's your tour guide. She's also your personal concierge, and by the end of the third day, she'll be on your Christmas card mailing list. Our tour managers are just phenomenal folks that are really there to breathe life into this program right here. They're and when you have your own personal concierge looking out for you, the quality goes through the roof. And some other things that keep the program high or your experience high is hotels. We use great four-star hotels, not only great four-star hotels, but location, location, location. So we are always in the heart of the city centers. When we are in Fatima for 3 nights, folks, we're right across the street from the sanctuary of Our Lady. I mean, maybe a 2 minute walk, right across the street. The best hotel in that location. So hotels selection, location is huge. And then having the perfect balance of structured tours and leisure time. I've been on tours where I say you're running and gunning. You're out the door at 7, you're back at the hotel at 7 or 8 or 9, and by the third day, you're not quite sure what you've seen because you were running and gunning. You were just on the road, and that's not this trip. This trip has the perfect balance of structured tours because you need that and leisure time, so you can explore the cities that we've just enjoyed the tours in, and free time is so liberating, and that's a lot of times when the highlights occur. And so the timing of things, hotel location, tour management, all that combined makes up a great trip. Before I jump into the itinerary, the last thing that makes up a great trip, every single day of every single tour that we're talking about tonight, it's all included. So you don't have to worry about setting aside X amount of funds to purchase optional tours. Um, all the tours I'm talking about tonight are all inclusive. And that's pretty much my business model. I want to make sure our travelers just have an incredible time and never have to worry about purchasing optional tours. Um, that's one of my pet peeves. So we're talking about Portugal, departing October 14th. And for those who register by the end of this month, you actually save $100 per person. After the end of this month, the price does increase by $100. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to minimize this because we want to really focus on these images. And I'm going to take me off the screen. So again, so we can focus on the images. And now we're going to jump into taking in the best that Portugal has to offer, starting in Lisbon and then going all the way up to Porto and then into the Douro Valley. Oh my goodness. Just an amazing, amazing itinerary. And let's jump in, get that off the screen. So we'll be flying from Dulles to Lisbon. And one of my goals for our travelers is I'd like to get you guys in on the earlier side so you get a little bit more out of your first day. Um, this came true with our Ireland travelers. I think they're getting in around 9 o'clock in the morning. So my goal is to get you guys in on the earlier side. And what we'll do is we'll have a change of planes somewhere along the way, maybe in Paris or Amsterdam or Frankfurt, and then straight into Lisbon. And upon arrival in Lisbon, we're going to go to baggage claim. And then we're going to go to the arrivals hall, and that's where we're going to meet our tour manager. And she'll have a nice CI destination sign there ready to greet us. The average group size for these programs is usually right around 30 travelers. And like Margie said, we only work with chambers of commerce. So we have like-minded travelers from all across the country, different chambers promoting different destinations, and usually have 30 or so travelers per departure. So we'll go right to the arrivals hall. We'll be met by our tour manager, and she's going to escort us to our deluxe motor coach. And our motor coaches, they're typically 3 years old or newer. Just a great way to get around. And when you're in Portugal, you can leave the driving up to the professionals and just soak it all in. Now, to keep the quality high, we've included what we call the whisper system. Now, these are great. This is a wireless headset that allows you to hear your tour manager from up to 250 feet away. So as she may be talking about the sanctuary of Our Lady, you do not have to huddle around her and say, what is she talking about? What did I miss? What am I supposed to be looking at? That scenario is in the past. We've got the great whisper systems, so we can really thoroughly enjoy the monologue from our tour manager. Oh my goodness. So we're going to be spending 3 nights at the Hotel Estrella de Fatima. And this is a great 66-room hotel just located right across the street from the sanctuary of Our Lady of Fatima. And I always like, let me jump back here. I always like to include, a few public shots, the dining area, as well as, the living quarters. Now, here we are with the sanctuary of Our Lady of Fatima. And this is one of the most important places for the Marian cult. It's the Shrine of Fatima. And it's really put Fatima on the map back in 1917 when a religious event changed the future for Fatima. And what happened in 1917, 3 little shepherds, Jacinta, her brother Francisco, and their cousin Lucia, witnessed successive apparitions of Our Lady of the Rosary. And that occurred right here. And every night, right around 8:30, 9 o'clock, the pilgrimages take place, and it's a candlelight vigil with song, and people come to the Our Lady of Fatima sanctuary from all over the world. This is one of the #1 attractions in all of Portugal, and it's right across the street from our hotel. So tonight we're going to enjoy a welcome dinner. This is always a fun night where the group gets to dine together and you meet new friends. And this is the night when you want to wear your name badge because people are, you're much more approachable if people know your names. And this is where you get to meet your fellow CI Destinations travelers. The next morning, We're going to enjoy a nice hot buffet breakfast as we do every morning. And now we're going to head south to Sintra, right along the coast. We'll take in some amazing sights. And here we are in Sintra. And Sintra is really a magical place. Gosh, it's full of, natural beauty, palaces. And we're actually going to be going into the National Palace of Sintra, which you see here. Now, as I mentioned, all the tours are all included. So is the admission tickets. So when we get to the National Palace of Sintra, you're going to see a line of people, maybe 100 or so people long. Well, folks, we've already purchased your admission tickets. So you do not have to wait in line to purchase some silly ticket to go enjoy the National Palace of Sintra. I recognize that in all our tours, biggest commodity is our traveler's time. So I will never ask you to waste a minute of time in line to buy those tickets. All the admission tickets throughout the entire program are all taken care of for you. And here we are inside the National Palace. And this is the working kitchen. I'm going to jump back here because the kitchen is what is connected to these great chimneys, as you see here. So back, so if we're going to enjoy the tour, then we're going to enjoy a walking tour of Sintra and the city center. And you'll learn all about Portugal's history, from the reconquest to the Muslims to the monarchy to the present day. And you'll also get to take in the Moorish castle. This was founded in the 8th century. So it's almost like you're going back in time. And you can't help but wonder how many people walked where we're walking. So now we're going to head south just a little bit, about 15 miles south. We're going to go into Cabo de Roca. Now, this is a special spot. Why is it special? Because it's the westernmost point, not only for Portugal, but for all mainland Europe. The views are, they are incredible. And this is Cabo de Roca. Now we're going to make our way over to Cascais. This is just a beautiful little seaside settlement located on the Portuguese Riviera. This is all on that same day we're doing, Sintra, Cabo de Roca, now into Cascais. And just beautiful. Right on the Portuguese Riviera. Then we'll make our way back to our hotel in Fatima. And when we do the departure party sometime in mid to late September, we'll go over your travel documents. And it's at this meeting, I'm going to share with you some great restaurants, some little gems that are right in Fatima. And again, I'm going to say the restaurants are maybe a 6-minute walk at best. The next morning, we'll enjoy breakfast, and we are going to now go to Obidos, which is only 15 miles away. Now, Obidos is special because this was the very first Portuguese UNESCO site, and that is for the entire village of Obidos, which dates back to 308. And the entire city is surrounded by walls just like this, and you can actually go up and walk on the walls. Something special about Obidos, it's considered to be the best medieval preserved town in all of Europe. And the streets, you'll enjoy a walking tour. We're going to learn all about the Gillesco's tiles, which are these hand-painted tiles, and these little tiles make up murals all throughout Portugal that we're going to learn about. We're going to learn exactly how these tiles are created as well as painted. Then we're still in Obidos. We're going to enjoy a little local tasting treat. It's a little shot of Ginia. It's something that Obidos is really known for. And it's these little treats that really make our program special. Then we'll enjoy some lunch on our own. And we're going to make our way over now to Battaglia. And this great masterpiece dates back to 1385. And it's the church of Santa Maria de la Vittoria. 1385. Absolutely amazing. And you've got to think for a minute, they didn't have Home Depot then or Lowe's or the things that we have at our disposal today. They had ropes and chisels and hammers and pulleys and horses and things like Santa Maria de la Vittoria they were created. And this took over 100 years to construct. Here we are within the grounds of this amazing church. Yeah, every day of this tour is uniquely different than the previous days. And every day I try to design as a highlight. And Portugal just really delivers the highlights. So now we're going to make our way to a little tiny area called Alcabadoca. And we're going to visit the largest wine museum in all of Portugal. So here you'll not only have your tour manager, but you'll also have a docent from the museum. And you're going to learn, gosh, the history of the wines in Portugal. One of the most famous wines, of course, is that of port. You're going to learn that there's a rosé port, a white port, a tawny port, and just amazing tastings. So of course we're at the wine museum. We're gonna enjoy an authentic Portuguese wine tastings along with some charcuterie. Oh, a great afternoon. And then we'll make our way back to Fatima for our last night in Fatima. And the next day we're gonna head over to Porto, where we're going to be staying at the Hotel Villa Gale for 2 nights. And here's a couple of shots of the workout area, the swimming pool, the public areas. And Porto it's one of my favorite cities in all of Europe, folks. It is so picturesque, and the locals are so gracious and welcoming. The entire day is dedicated to touring Porto. And here we are. This is the San Benito station right here, the main train station in Porto. And these are the Azulejo tiles. They're murals that are made up of 6 inches by 6 inches square tiles. And they make up these amazing murals. And this is the working train station today. The weather this time of year, you should be in the high 60s, low 70s. When I was there, I think it was November 3rd to the 12th, and just had incredible weather. Okay, now this is one of my favorite days. Now we're going to go into the Bolero Market, which is right in the city center of Porto. And this is a must. And these pictures don't do the Bolero Market even close to justice. I mean, it's a vibrant, huge, well laid out, huge local market square, and it's an open market where you'll have cheeses and fish, fruits. You'll have butcher shops, flowers, wine, bread. We'll spend a good hour just enticing our senses as we walk through the Bolero market. And I am sure it will be a highlight for everybody. So we will have lunch on our own terms. This is a great place to grab a bite. And tonight we've got an included dinner. And when we have our dinners included, we always make great events out of them. Same with our lunches. So tonight we're going to dine at a local restaurant overlooking the river. It's a great night. And the next morning, we're going to now make our way to the Douro Valley. Oh, my goodness. So we'll enjoy breakfast and we'll make our way over to the Douro Valley, which is world famous for its port wines. And the scenery along the Douro Valley, I mean, honestly, folks, it's nothing short of breathtaking. You'd be like, oh my goodness. And this is where going on one of our programs truly shines, because maybe you wouldn't even know how to get to the Douro Valley, but all these things are taken care of for you. And one of my goals is for you, when you're traveling, for you to be able to thoroughly enjoy every day, never having to worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, because I've got that taken care of for you. Yep. So we're going to go through the Douro Valley. And along the way, this is our motor coach. Along the way, we're going to stop at a local vineyard, which they're actually called the Quintas. We'll enjoy a wine tasting, learn all about their wines, their productions, the different varieties. This is a phenomenal time. And then we've got an included lunch at the winery. And this is where you're just going, wow, this has got that wow factor. But today, I mean, it even gets better. We aren't even close to done. So now we're going to enjoy an afternoon cruise on the Douro River. And you're going to see all the wineries that line the banks of the Douro River. And this is all included. So again, you don't have to worry about purchasing admission tickets or things like that. And the next morning, we'll enjoy a nice breakfast. And we're going to go to Aveiro, which is only 45 miles away. And Aveiro is nicknamed the Portuguese Venice because it's got these little canals going all throughout the city. And these boats are called Moliceiros. And we're actually going to enjoy a cruise on a Moliceiros as we go through the city of Aveiro through the canals. And again, the tickets are all taken care of in advance, so you don't have to worry about those. We're also going to visit the train station and admire their azulejos tiles. Now we're going to go over and we're going to visit Coimbra. Now, this is one of the most important cities in Portugal. It's a working university and the oldest and largest university in Portugal, dating back to 1290. Excuse me. This is all in the same day we do the Moliceiros cruise. I'm going to grab a little sip here. Okay, so now we're heading south. We're heading towards Lisbon. But tonight we're going to enjoy a little stay in Nazaré. Here's a shot of our hotel. I would like to include the public shots, a little shot of the living quarters. And this is right, oh gosh, this is a great little hotel right in the heart of Nazaire. And again, at that document meeting, I'll share with you some great restaurants. There's a Michelin rated hotel within 2 blocks. If you're looking for some just earth shattering, amazing seafood. The next morning we'll wake up and we're going to make our way over to Lisbon, and we're going to take in the monumental district known as Belém. And Lisbon is maybe about a 40-minute ride, maybe 45-minute coach ride from Nazaire. And here we are at the Belém Monument. And this is also a World UNESCO Heritage Site. I like this shot on the right because it gives you a good idea of the weather. This was taken in October. Resort casual attire, jeans, capris, light shirts, light jackets. Great weather. We always choose March and October, one for the weather, two for the crowds. My goodness, you want to avoid Lisbon like the plague between May and September because the crowds can have such a negative impact on your experience. So right next to or within a 5-minute walk from the Belém Monument is the Monument of Discoveries. And this sits right on the banks of the Tigris River. And this dates back to the 15th century, the Monument of Discoveries. Then as you're looking at the Monument of Discoveries right on the river, if you turn around, you'll see Geronimo's Monastery. And this is one of the most visited sites in Lisbon and was declared a World UNESCO Heritage Site back in 1983. And of course, we'll have to have a little treat called pastel de Belém. It's a traditional pastry with egg, a little taste of fig, fantastic. So after we have the little pastel de Belém, we're going to head to the Alfama district of Lisbon. And this will enjoy a guided walking tour with our tour manager all the way down to the water's edge. She'll then have some time to enjoy the shopping, some time on your own down in the Alfama district. Very, very picturesque. And tonight is going to be a great treat because tonight we're going to enjoy a Portuguese favorite, and that is a dinner at a typical fado house with live music entertainment. And we'll all reminisce tonight about all the different highlights that we shared, and everybody's going to have a different highlight, and they're going to be like, wow, this trip, I mean, just blew my expectations away. Everything Oliver talked about happened, and then some. And tonight we'll rest our heads at the Inspira Liberad Boutique Hotel, and another great 4-star city center property. This is our last night in Lisbon, and the next morning we'll make our way to the airport, taking with us, I mean, just wonderful lifelong memories of the country of Portugal. And I always like to include a few shots of our groups as we're headed back home, back to the great United States. That went too far. And there's that. So now let's open this back up. Boom. Let's turn this back on. Boom. And now, how do we register for the trip? Well, on the back of the great brochure here, there's a registration form. You simply complete the registration form, send that to Margie at the chamber, along with your deposit check of $450 per person made out to CI Destinations. Margie will send all of that into us, and then we'll send out what we call a confirmation packet, welcoming you to the trip with frequently asked questions, passport information, travel insurance information, and then if the directions you now have a point of contact, should you have any questions. And what's special about our trips is this is not just limited to chamber travel. This is open to friends and family of the chamber. And I'm always amazed at the reach chambers have. I was chatting with Margie just a few months ago, and she said, I got some friends in Oklahoma that want to go to Ireland.
Of course they
I'm
do.
like, wow. And sure enough, they aren't flying to Dulles from Oklahoma City and then meeting the group. We're flying them from Oklahoma City to Dublin. And when they found out they could do that, they were tickled. And so if you have friends and family that might be interested, and they want to fly from Salt Lake City or maybe Orlando or Denver or maybe Fresno. I haven't had too many people ask yet for Fresno, but that's me.
But also, Oliver, people had family. We had people from DC with family in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and they came on the trip too. So Oliver is really great because he can organize travel, from any airport, any destination. So it's been great.
Yeah, and then you can take it a step further if you like, because one of the things I honestly love to see is when our travelers get to do what you want to do when you want to do it. So if you want, you love the trip, but you're like, gosh, and this happens all the time. I think I'd like to fly in early and experience Lisbon a little bit more, or maybe I want to fly in or stay longer and fly home 5 days later. If you want to do something like that, you just let us know and we'll create a dialogue via email with what you want to do. And we'll bring you into the decision making factor of it. Now you are truly getting to do what you want to do. And I'm amazed how people customize. I used to say 30% of our travelers do it. Now it's more like 45%. And I have travelers that once they've done that and they see the involvement in the customer service, they're like, gosh, I want to do this next trip, but I'm going to go in here and I want to do that. I want to do that. Can you do that? I'm like, sure.
But you're on your own, or do you have a guide?
Usually you're on your own,
Mhm.
but I have had travelers that have gone on one trip. Let's say we're going to Portugal on October 15th, and maybe we've got a Croatia trip October 3rd. I've seen travelers jump from one to the other because you're already in Europe,
Right.
and then you're getting a crazy good value because you don't have to pay for air for one of those trips.
Right. Yep. So I don't think did you send me those brochures? I have them up on my website under rockvillechamber.org. If you click on the travel, you'll be able to download that brochure.
Can you put that in the chat?
I can try.
Don't mean to put you on the spot, Margie.
Hold on, I can try. Let me go onto my website and do that.
Margie, did you just add that? Because when I was out there, when I originally called you, I didn't see it. I saw the trip, but not the brochure.
Okay, let me see.
See if I can grab it.
No, it's only that one page, Oliver. I don't have that brochure.
Okay, I'll get it back to you.
Yep. Yeah, it's only that one page I have. Or that's the only
Okay.
one I put up.
Let me stop sharing and I will see if I can grab it right now.
Okay. Yeah, I will email it to me, and that way I can email it to Salita and Jackie as well, separately.
Yeah. So
Yep.
let me ask you a question, whoever wants to answer it. So what if you don't speak Portuguese?
Okay, so English is widely spoken, and your tour manager is going to speak about 5 different languages. And you will find if you make the smallest effort to communicate in Portugal, and or Portuguese, we'll actually give you a list of different phrases. They'll stop you mid-syllable because you're killing their national language, and they'll say, no, we'll help you out. What do you need? What and so forth. All right, let me get back to this chat now.
It's a very hard language. I've been trying to learn it on Memrise. I first did it on Duolingo, and then I realized it's the wrong Portuguese. So I had to forget everything I learned, and then I had to start over with Memrise. And I can read it, I can understand it, I cannot speak it. I
Yeah,
just
it's a tough one.
hard time with
Did I lose you?
no.
No, we're here.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll get that email to you. I'm having a hard time grabbing it right now.
Email it margie@rockvillechamber.org. And that way I'll
Okay.
email it to everybody here, and I'll email it to Dawn, and I'll email it to the people who couldn't get on tonight, and along with the recording.
There you go.
I'm going to stop the recording now.
So you do need to have a valid